Dr. Lisa Harper walked through the white halls of the Galactic Council building. She had done this walk many times before. Today felt different, though. Something was wrong. Lisa worked as Earth's main person at the Council. For 57 years, Earth had been part of this group. 12 different alien races worked together here. They made decisions about peace and war across 14 star systems. The council building was huge. It floated in space around an old planet called Vex Star Prime. Lisa always felt small when she walked these halls. The aliens were so much older than humans. Some of their races had been traveling space for thousands of years. Today, Lisa was going to a normal meeting. At least, she thought it was normal. The council leaders wanted to talk about trade routes and mining rights. Boring stuff that happened every month. But as Lisa walked to the meeting room, she heard voices. Alien voices speaking in hushed tones. She knew she should not listen, but something made her stop. The voices were coming from a side room. "The humans grow too fast," said one voice. Lisa knew it belonged to Commander Zix, a tall blue alien from the Creel Empire. "Their ships are getting better. Their weapons are stronger. Soon they will be a threat." "Yes," said another voice. This one belonged to Elder Vorth from the peaceful Zephyrian people. Lisa was shocked. The Zephyrians were supposed to be Earth's friends. "We must act now, before they become too powerful." Lisa's heart started beating fast. She pressed herself against the wall and kept listening. "The solar cleansing plan is ready," said Commander Zix. "The asteroid will hit Earth in 6 months. Their colonies will be destroyed at the same time. No human will survive." "What about their fleet?" asked Elder Vorth. "Their ships are weak. We have been watching them for years. They have maybe 200 old vessels. Our combined forces number over 2,000 ships. It will be easy." Lisa felt sick. Solar cleansing? They were going to kill everyone on Earth? And the Zephyrians were part of it? Her own friends had been lying to her for years. "Dr. Harper knows." "Too much," said a third voice. This one made Lisa freeze with fear. It was High Chancellor Corinth, the leader of the entire council. "We should deal with her before she leaves." Lisa did not wait to hear more. She turned and ran as quietly as she could. Her mind was racing. She had to get back to Earth. She had to warn everyone. But how? All the council ships had alien crews. They would never help her. And her own transport was not due to leave for 3 days. Lisa ran to her quarters and started packing. She grabbed her data pad and began copying every file she could find about council fleet movements. Her hands were shaking as she worked. A knock came at her door. Lisa's blood turned cold. "Dr. Harper?" It was Commander Zix's voice. "The council wishes to see you." Lisa looked around her room. There was a small window that led to a service tunnel. She had seen maintenance workers use it before. "Just a moment," Lisa called out. She grabbed her bag and climbed through the window. Behind her, she heard the door open. "She is gone," said Commander Zix. "Find her." Lisa crawled through the dark tunnel as fast as she could. She could hear alien voices shouting behind her. They were looking for her everywhere. The tunnel led to the ship bay area. Lisa knew there was a small Zephyrian scout ship there. It was used for quick trips between the council building and nearby planets. If she could steal it, she might have a chance. Lisa reached the ship bay. The place was huge and dark. Ships of all sizes floated in the zero gravity. She could see the scout ship in the far corner. She pushed herself through the air, flying from one ship to another. Her heart was pounding so loud she thought everyone could hear it. The scout ship was small but fast. Lisa had watched Zephyrian pilots use these ships before. The controls looked simple enough. She climbed inside and started pressing buttons. Lights came on. The engine began to hum. Lisa had never flown an alien ship before, but she had to try. Warning sirens started going off all around the ship bay. Red lights flashed everywhere. The aliens had found her dot. Lisa pushed the power button all the way forward. The ship shot out of the bay like a bullet. Behind her, she could see Council security ships starting to follow. The little ship was fast, but Lisa did not know how to use all its systems. She pushed buttons and pulled controls, trying to make it go faster. Space around Vexstar Prime was full of Council ships. Lisa had to dodge between them as alarms rang out across the system. The security ships were getting closer. Then Lisa found the jump drive button. She had seen it used before. One push would send her ship across many light years and seconds. She aimed the ship toward Earth and pushed the button. The stars stretched out into lines. Everything went white for a moment. Then Lisa was alone in empty space, far from the Council. She had escaped, but just barely. In her bag were the files that proved everything. The Council was planning to destroy Earth and kill every human alive. Lisa set course for Earth. She had to warn Admiral Jake Morrison and the Earth fleet. She had maybe 6 months before the asteroid hit. 6 months to save everyone she had ever known. As her ship flew through the darkness toward home, Lisa wondered if 6 months would be enough time. The Council had been planning this for years. Earth's fleet was small and old, but humans had something the aliens did not understand. When their backs were against the wall, humans fought harder than anyone expected. Lisa just hoped it would be enough. Admiral Jake Morrison stood in the command center of Earth's orbital station. He was a tall man with gray hair and serious eyes. He had been fighting wars in space for 30 years. But he had never seen anything like this. Dr. Lisa Harper sat across from him. She looked tired and scared. She had just finished telling him about the Council's plan to destroy Earth. The evidence was clear. The alien races that Earth trusted were planning to kill everyone. 6 months, Jake said quietly. They think they can wipe us out in 6 months. The asteroid is already moving toward us, Lisa said. And their fleets are getting ready to attack our colonies. Jake, we only have 200 ships. They have over 2,000. Jake nodded slowly. He had been afraid something like this might happen. For years, he had watched the Council asking too many questions about Earth's defenses. They always wanted to know where human ships were and how many weapons they had. Lisa, Jake said, there is something you need to know. Something the Council does not know about. He pressed a button on his desk. Get me General Pete Collins. Tell him it is time for Operation Hidden Shield. 10 minutes later, General Collins walked into the room. He was a short, thick man with a beard. He looked at Lisa with careful eyes. Can we trust her? Collins asked. She just risked her life to warn us, Jake said. Yes, we can trust her. Collins sat down. Dr. Harper, what I am about to tell you is Earth's biggest secret. For 20 years, we have been building a second fleet. A hidden fleet. Lisa looked confused. What do you mean? We mean, said a new voice, that the Council has no idea what humans are really capable of. A woman walked into the room. She was young with dark hair and smart eyes. I am Dr. Rachel Kim, she said. I run the secret shipyard program. Jake smiled for the first time that day. Rachel, show her the numbers. Rachel put a data pad on the table. We have been building ships in a hidden base. It is inside a big asteroid in the Kuiper Belt, far from Earth. The Council has never found it. She pressed buttons on the pad. Pictures appeared showing huge ships being built in secret factories. We have 300 heavy cruisers, Rachel said. Each one is bigger and stronger than anything in our regular fleet. We have 150 assault carriers with new fighter ships. We have 75 dreadnought battleships with weapons the aliens have never seen. Lisa stared at the pictures. The ships looked like nothing she had ever seen before. They were sleek and deadly. "How?" she asked. "How did you build all this without anyone knowing?" General Collins leaned forward. "We learned from our mistakes. When we first joined the council, we were too open. We showed them everything. We told them about all our technology. But some of us were worried," Jake added. "We thought the aliens might turn against us someday. So we started a secret program." Rachel pulled up more pictures. "We took alien technology that the council shared with us, but we made it better. We combined it with human ideas that the aliens never thought of." She showed Lisa a picture of a ship's control room. The aliens used biological computers, living brains, to control their ships. But humans built artificial intelligence systems. Our computers can think faster than any biological brain. "Our ships can fight together like a pack of wolves," General Collins said. "They share information instantly. They coordinate attacks that happen too fast for alien reflexes." Lisa looked at more pictures. The ships had strange weapons that seemed to glow with inner fire. "What are those?" she asked. "Plasma cannons," Rachel said with pride. "We figured out how to make them 3 times more powerful than anything the council has. And we developed quantum shielding that can stop most alien weapons." Jake stood up and walked to the window. Outside, he could see Earth floating in space, blue and beautiful. "We also have 500 stealth frigates, ships that can turn invisible and strike without warning. But the best part," Collins said, "is that the council thinks we are weak. They think our ships are old and slow. They have no idea what is waiting for them." Rachel put away the data pad. "We have been watching their fleet movements for months. They are gathering ships from all over the galaxy. But they are not expecting a real fight. They think this will be easy." Lisa felt hope for the first time since she had overheard the aliens talking. "So we can win? We can more than win," Jake said. "We can show the galaxy that humans are not the weak race the council thinks we are." A new person entered the room. He was a big man in military uniform. "Admiral, I am Lieutenant Colonel Steve Adams. My Special Forces teams are ready to move." Jake nodded. "Steve, we need you to take out the asteroid control system. Can your people do it?" "Yes, sir," Steve said. "We have been training for this kind of mission for years. My teams can get inside any alien facility." General Collins stood up. "The question now is when to strike. Do we wait for them to attack first? Or do we hit them while they are still getting ready?" Jake thought for a moment. Through the window, he could see Earth's small defense fleet patrolling near the planet. Those ships and their crews had no idea what was coming. "We strike first," he said finally. "The council thinks they are smart. They think they have planned the perfect attack. But they made one big mistake." "What mistake?" Lisa asked. Jake smiled, and it was not a nice smile. "They forgot that humans learn from their enemies. We have been watching them for 57 years. We know how they think. We know how they fight. And we know their weaknesses." Rachel began putting away her equipment. "The hidden fleet is ready to launch. All ships are armed and crewed. We just need your orders, Admiral." Jake looked around the room at all the people who had worked so hard to keep Earth safe. "Then let us give the Galactic Council a surprise they will never forget." Outside the window, space looked peaceful and quiet. But soon it would be full of warships and weapons fire. The aliens thought they were about to destroy humanity. Instead, they were about to learn why humans had survived so long on a dangerous world. They were about to discover that the species they thought was weak was actually the most dangerous predator the galaxy had ever seen. The hidden war fleet was ready. Earth's revenge was about to begin. Captain Ryan Webb sat in the control room of his ship, the Silent Hunter. Around him, his crew worked quietly at their stations. The ship was completely dark. No lights showed on the outside. No signals went out into space. To any alien scanner, the silent hunter looked like empty space. Ryan had been waiting here for 3 days. His ship floated near a council supply depot in the Rigel system. Alien cargo ships came and went, bringing weapons and fuel to the council war fleet. None of them knew that a human ship was watching. "Captain," whispered his communications officer, "Admiral Morrison is sending the attack signal." Ryan smiled. Finally, the waiting was over. "Send the message to all stealth ships. Operation Ghost Strike is now active." All across the galaxy, 100 stealth frigates began to move. They had been hiding near council bases for weeks. The aliens had no idea they were there. "Target the main fuel depot," Ryan told his weapons officer. "Fire when ready." The silent hunter's plasma cannons charged up silently. Then they fired. Bright blue beams shot across space and hit the alien fuel station. The explosion was huge. It lit up the darkness like a small sun. Before the aliens could react, Ryan's ship was already moving to its next target. The communication relay station exploded a few seconds later. Then the weapons depot went up in flames. All around the Rigel system, other human ships were doing the same thing. In less than 10 minutes, every major council facility was destroyed. "Sir," said the scatter officer, "alien patrol ships are coming to investigate." "Let them come," Ryan said. "They will not find anything but wreckage." The silent hunter and the other stealth ships vanished back into the darkness. When the alien patrol ships arrived, they found only burning stations and floating debris. There was no sign of who had attacked them. Meanwhile, in another part of space, Major Kate Foster was leading a different kind of mission. She and her team of 20 Marines were floating in spacesuits near the asteroid that the Council was planning to crash into Earth. "Remember," Kate whispered into her radio, "we need to get inside the control center and plant our charges. Then we get out. Fast." The asteroid was huge, bigger than most moons. The aliens had built a control station on its surface to steer it toward Earth. Kate could see alien guards walking around the base. "Ryan and Tommy, take out the guards at the main entrance," she ordered. "The rest of us will go through the back way." Kate's team moved like shadows across the asteroid's surface. They had trained for this mission for months. Every person knew exactly what to do. The alien guards never saw them coming. Human weapons fired with silent flashes. The guards fell without making a sound. Inside the control station, Kate found something that made her angry. The aliens were using human prisoners to do the hard work. Men and women from Earth's outer colonies worked in chains, building the systems that would destroy their home world. "Free the prisoners," Kate told her team, "then plant the explosives." While her Marines set bombs throughout the control center, Kate talked to the human prisoners. They told her terrible stories about how the aliens had captured them months ago. The Council had been planning this attack for a very long time. "Don't worry," Kate told them. "You are going home." The charges were set. Kate and her team loaded the prisoners into their small ships and flew away from the asteroid. Behind them, the control center exploded. The asteroid began to drift off. Course no longer aimed at Earth, but the biggest battle was happening at Kepler Station. This was a huge space station that controlled the jump routes to Earth. If the Council captured it, they could send their entire fleet straight to humanity's home world. Admiral Jake Morrison commanded the defense himself. He brought 50 ships from Earth's hidden fleet. The Council attacked with 200 vessels, thinking they had easy odds. "All ships, this is Admiral Morrison," Jake said over the radio. "Today we show these aliens what humans can do. Attack Formation Alpha. Execute. Now." The human ships moved in perfect coordination. Their artificial intelligence systems shared information instantly. Every ship knew where every other ship was going. The Council fleet attacked in the old way, with their ships spread out in a long line. It was how they had always fought battles. But they had never fought humans before. Jake's ships moved like a school of fish, turning and diving together. The alien ships could not keep up. Their biological computers were too slow to track the human movements. "Fire all weapons," Jake ordered. The human plasma cannons were much more powerful than anything the aliens expected. The first volley of shots cut through console shields like they were made of paper. 12 alien ships exploded in the first 10 seconds of the battle. The Council commander tried to reorganize his fleet, but the human ships were already moving to their next position. They attacked from a different angle, destroying more alien vessels. "Impossible," the alien commander said over his radio. "How are they moving so fast?" Commander Alex Murphy led the human fighter squadrons. His pilots flew in three-dimensional patterns that confused the alien fighters. While the aliens tried to fly in straight lines, the humans swooped and dived like birds. "Stay together," Alex told his pilots. "Hit them fast and get out." The human fighters were smaller and faster than the alien ships. They zipped between the big Council vessels, firing at their weak spots. The aliens could not turn fast enough to keep up. In 30 minutes, the battle was over. Half of the Council fleet was destroyed. The other half was running away as fast as they could. Jake watched the alien ships disappear into hyperspace. His own fleet had lost only 3 ships. It was the most one-sided space battle in galactic history. "Sir," his communications officer said, "we are getting reports from all over the galaxy. Our stealth attacks worked. Council supply lines are cut. Their bases are destroyed." "And the asteroid?" Jake asked. "Major Foster's mission was successful. The asteroid is no longer aimed at Earth." Jake nodded. "Send a message to all Council member species. Tell them that Earth is not the weak target they thought we were." Across the galaxy, alien leaders watched the reports with shock and fear. The humans, who they thought were primitive and helpless, had just destroyed a third of the Council's military in one day. Some aliens began to wonder if they had chosen the wrong side in this war. Others started to remember old grudges against the Council leadership. The war was just beginning, but already the balance of power was shifting. The Council had expected an easy victory over a weak enemy. Instead, they had awakened something dangerous. Humanity was done being the galaxy's victim. Now they were ready to be its predator, and the aliens were starting to realize that they had made a terrible mistake. Ambassador Elena Rodriguez hid in the shadows of an alien spaceport. She was far from Earth, on a world called Thyros Prime. This planet belonged to the Therian Empire, one of the Council's member races. Elena was not supposed to be here. Officially, she was dead. The Council thought they had killed her when they destroyed the Earth embassy on Vexstar Prime. But Elena had escaped, and now she was doing something the aliens never expected. She was turning the Council's own members against each other. "The meeting is tonight," whispered a Therian rebel named Kex Valoom. He was a small, green alien with 4 arms. "The resistance leaders will gather in the old warehouse district," Elena nodded. For weeks, she had been secretly meeting with aliens who were tired of the Council's rule. She had learned something important. Many Council species hated their leaders almost as much as humans did. "Remember," Elena told Kex Valoom, "show them the evidence about the mining operations. Let them see how the Council has been stealing from their worlds." That night, Elena stood before a group of alien rebels. There were Therians, Vextari, and even some Zephyrians who had turned against their own government. "My friends," Elena said in the common galactic language, "you have all suffered under the Council's lies. They told you that humans were dangerous. But the real danger is the Council itself." She showed them documents that Dr. Lisa Harper had stolen from the council files. The papers proved that the council leaders had been taking resources from member worlds for decades. They had grown rich while their people stayed poor. The council told you that destroying Earth would bring peace, Elena continued. But what they really want is to remove the only species strong enough to challenge their power. One of the Therian leaders stood up. If we help humans, what happens to us? The council will punish our worlds, Elena smiled. The council is losing this war. Their fleets are being destroyed by human forces. Soon, they will be too weak to punish anyone. Meanwhile, in space near the council's home system, Captain Nat Thompson prepared for the most dangerous mission of the war. His ship, the Vengeance, was one of Earth's new dreadnought battleships. It was huge and heavily armed. All stations report ready, said his weapons officer. Matt looked at the tactical display. The council had built massive defense platforms around their home worlds. These stations were supposed to be impossible to destroy. Each one had shields and weapons that could fight off entire fleets. Target the first defense platform, Matt ordered. Charge the Star Killer weapon. The Star Killer was humanity's most powerful weapon. It could destroy a small moon with one shot. But it took a lot of energy and could only fire once every 10 minutes. Star Killer charged and ready, reported the weapons officer. Fire. A beam of pure energy shot out from the Vengeance. It was brighter than a star and moved faster than light. When it hit the council defense platform, the massive station simply vanished. One moment it was there. The next moment it was atoms scattered in space. The alien defenders watched in horror. Their strongest fortress had been destroyed like it was made of paper. Impossible, said the council defense commander. Nothing can penetrate our shields. But Matt's ship was already targeting the next platform. The Star Killer fired again. Another defense station disappeared in a flash of light. All across the system, council ships began to panic. They had never seen weapons like this. Their most advanced technology was useless against human Star Killers. All ships retreat, ordered the council commander. Fall back to the inner system. But there was nowhere to run. More human dreadnoughts were arriving. The Vengeance had 5 sister ships, and they all carried Star Killer weapons. In 6 hours, every major council defense was destroyed. The aliens' home system, which had been protected for thousands of years, was now wide open to human attack. Psychological effect was devastating. Across the galaxy, council member species heard the news. The humans had broken through defenses that were supposed to be unbreakable. Dr. Paul Mitchell studied the reports from his office on Earth. He was an expert on alien psychology, and he understood what was happening. The council species are starting to crack, he told Admiral Morrison over the video link. 3 races have already withdrawn from the war. 2 more are asking for secret peace talks. Jake Morrison smiled. This was exactly what he had hoped for. What about the core council races? The Creel Empire is trying to negotiate with us directly, Paul said. They want to switch sides. The Vextari are holding emergency sessions about replacing their government. And the Zephyrians? Paul's expression grew dark. They are still fighting, but their people are in revolt. Elena's work with the resistance movements is paying off. Back on Thyros Prime, Elena's secret war was reaching its climax. The alien resistance had grown from a few rebels to a massive movement. Therian workers were striking. Vextari soldiers were refusing orders. Even some Zephyrian colonies were declaring independence. The council government is falling apart, Kexvalum told. Elena, our people have seen the truth about who the real enemy is. Elena looked out at the alien city. In the streets, protesters carried signs demanding freedom from the council. Some of the signs even had human words on them, thanking Earth for showing them the way to liberty. This is bigger than just our war with the council, Elena realized. We have started a galactic revolution. The final blow came when the asteroid weapon, which the Council had planned to crash into Earth, was turned around and aimed at their main fleet base. Major Kate Foster's team had not just disabled the controls. They had reprogrammed them. The massive rock, moving at incredible speed, smashed into the Council's largest shipyard. Hundreds of alien vessels were destroyed instantly. The facility where they built their most powerful warships was reduced to rubble. High Chancellor Corinth, the leader of the Council, watched the destruction from his command ship. His empire was crumbling around him. Half of his member species had abandoned the war. His fleets were destroyed. His home worlds were defenseless. How did this happen? He asked his advisors. The humans were supposed to be weak. We were wrong, said Commander Zix, his blue skin pale with fear. We underestimated them completely. Corinth stared at the tactical display. Where once it had shown Council forces controlling most of the galaxy, now it showed human ships advancing. On every front, Earth's hidden fleet had grown to over 1,000 vessels, and more were being built every day. Sir, said a communications officer, we are receiving a message from the human fleet. Admiral Morrison wants to talk. Corinth considered his options. He could keep fighting, but his remaining forces were outnumbered and outgunned. He could try to escape, but where would he go? Half the galaxy was in revolt against his rule. Put him through, Corinth said finally. Jake Morrison's face appeared on the screen. He looked calm and confident, like a man who knew he had already won. Chancellor Corinth, Jake said, I think it is time we discuss terms. Corinth's shoulders sagged in defeat. The war was over, and everyone knew it. The Council had betrayed Earth and tried to destroy humanity. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant. Now the galaxy would learn what happened when you tried to exterminate the human race. The answer was simple. You lost everything. President Karen Walsh stood at the window of her office on Earth. Below her, millions of people celebrated in the streets. The war was over. Humanity had won. But Karen felt the weight of what came next, pressing down on her shoulders. A knock came at her door. Come in, she said. Admiral Jake Morrison entered, still wearing his military uniform. Behind him came Dr. Lisa Harper and several other advisors. They all looked tired but relieved. The Council has surrendered completely, Jake reported. Chancellor Corinth and his top leaders are in custody. The member species are asking for mercy. Karen turned from the window. What about their fleets? Destroyed or surrendered, Jake said. We control every major star system. The galaxy is ours if we want it. That was the problem, Karen thought. Earth now had the power to rule the entire galaxy. Human fleets were the strongest force in space. Human weapons could destroy anything. The aliens built. The question was, what should they do with that power? Madam President, said Dr. Lisa Harper, we need to decide quickly. The alien species are waiting for our answer. Some of them are scared. We will punish them for supporting the Council. Karen sat down at her desk. Reports covered every surface. Some were from human colonies that wanted revenge against the aliens. Others were from alien worlds asking for forgiveness. What does our intelligence say about the alien populations? Karen asked. Dr. Paul Mitchell, the expert on alien psychology, stepped forward. Most of the regular people never wanted this war. They were lied to by their leaders, just like we thought. The Therians, the Vextari, even many Zephyrians are celebrating the Council's defeat. And what about rebuilding? Karen asked. A new voice spoke up. Dr. Tony Reed was Earth's top expert on galactic economics. The war destroyed a lot of infrastructure, but the basic systems are still there. If we help rebuild instead of ruling through fear, we could create a golden age for all species. Karen looked around the room at her advisors. These people had helped save humanity from extinction. Now they had to help decide what kind of galactic civilization would replace the corrupt council. "What do you recommend, Admiral?" she asked. Jake was quiet for a moment. He had been thinking about this question since the war began. "We have two choices. We can rule the galaxy through force, making sure no alien species ever threatens us again. Or we can build something better." Something better? A real democracy. Representatives from every species, including humans. Fair laws that protect everyone. And a military force strong enough to keep the peace. Dr. Harper nodded. "I have been talking to the alien resistance leaders. People like Kex Valoom and the others who helped Ambassador Rodriguez. They want the same thing we do. Freedom and justice." Karen made her decision. "Set up a meeting with the surrender delegation. We will offer them terms." 3 days later, representatives from dozens of alien species gathered on Earth's orbital station. It was the same place where the war had been planned. Now it would be where the peace was made. Karen entered the meeting room. Across from her sat the defeated alien leaders, including some who had tried to destroy Earth. But she also saw new faces, the resistance leaders who had helped humanity win. "Friends," Karen began, speaking in the common galactic language, "we are here to build a new future. The old council is dead, but we can create something better to replace it." She looked directly at Kex Valoom, the Therian rebel who had helped Elena Rodriguez. "The new galactic government will be based on representation and justice. Every species will have a voice. Every world will be protected." One of the former council members, a Vextari general, raised his hand. "What about punishment for our crimes?" Karen had expected this question. The leaders who planned genocide will face trial, but the people who were lied to and manipulated will not be punished for following bad orders. "And what about human dominance?" asked another alien. "Your fleets are the strongest. Your weapons are the most powerful. How do we know you will not become tyrants like the Council?" Admiral Morrison stood up. "Because we learned something important during this war. Power without justice becomes corruption. The Council forgot that. We will not make the same mistake." He gestured to the window where Earth could be seen floating in space. "Humans will lead the Galactic Defense Force. Our job will be to protect all species from those who would harm them. But we will not rule. The new government will be chosen by all peoples." Dr. Harper stepped forward with a document. "We propose the Galactic Assembly. Every species gets representatives based on their population. Decisions are made by majority vote, and any species can leave if they choose." The aliens looked at each other in surprise. They had expected harsh terms from their conquerors. Instead, humans were offering them partnership. Kex Valoom spoke for the resistance movements. "The free peoples of the galaxy accept this proposal. We want to build this new government together." One by one, the other species agreed. Even some former council members admitted that the human plan was better than anything they had expected. 6 months later, Dr. Lisa Harper stood on the floor of the new Galactic Assembly building. She had been elected as the first Secretary General by representatives from 43 different species. "Our first law," Lisa announced to the gathered delegates, "is that no species shall attack another for the purpose of conquest or extermination. This assembly exists to resolve conflicts peacefully." In space around the assembly building, ships from the Integrated Galactic Defense Fleet patrolled peacefully. Human dreadnoughts flew alongside Therian cruisers and Vextari destroyers. Former enemies now worked together to keep the peace. Admiral Morrison, now promoted to Supreme Commander of the Defense Fleet, watched from his flagship. His crews were mixed human and alien. His officers came from a dozen different worlds. The fleet that had once been humanity's secret weapon was now the protector of galactic civilization. Admiral, his communications officer, said, "We are receiving a distress call from the Outer Rim. Pirates are attacking a colony ship. Dispatch a task force," Morrison ordered. "Mixed crews, as always. Show them that the new galaxy protects all citizens." As the defense ships jumped to hyperspace, Morrison thought about how much had changed. A year ago, the galaxy had been ruled by corruption and fear. Now it was becoming something better, a place where different species could work together instead of fighting each other. President Walsh had made the right choice. Instead of seeking revenge, humanity had chosen to build a better future. Instead of ruling through fear, they had chosen to lead through example. The Council had betrayed Earth and tried to destroy humanity. Their plan had failed completely. But the real victory was not just winning the war. The real victory was what came after. A galaxy where children of all species could grow up in peace. And at the center of it all was humanity, no longer the weak newcomers that the Council had tried to eliminate. They were now the guardians of galactic civilization, using their strength to protect instead of conquer. The aliens had thought humans were easy prey. Instead, they had discovered that humans were the most dangerous thing in the galaxy, a species that would fight to the death for what was right, and then forgive their enemies when the fighting was overdone. It was a lesson the galaxy would never forget.